Hey guys! So, I'm back, and, well, I don't know if that even counts. Like, I am back, but I usually say that after I've been away for months, and I've been kind of semi-regular with these uploads lately. I've been pretty proud of myself. Um, what? Oh, okay, so, as you'll see from this title, I haven't decided yet if I'm calling it The Adventures in Blind Dating or Blind Dating Adventures Continued. I'm leaning toward the former. Um, but I decided to sort of make this into like a series-esque thing, because my dating life, I mean, my life in general is like a TV show without a laugh track. And so I hope that you all will derive some entertainment from these things as I do, because that's the only way that I can continue going on with this. And I like the idea of like calling it The Adventures of Blind Dating or something like that, like just that play on words, because I'm a blind person dating, but I'm not necessarily going on blind dates since these are like app initiated things. So in the last video I made about my dating life, which was the Romantic Fails 2.0, like the one about the scammer, which I will link in the description. I talked about like a scammer, obviously, who wasn't even good at his job. And like a few other frustrating conversations I had like on Coffee Meets Bagel, that was the app I was using at the time. And I ended by saying that I was done with dating apps for a bit, that I'd like let fate take its course. Then like 3 months later, I was joining OKCupid. So I usually join these apps in like moments of boredom, but what leads me to even consider it, when I'm bored and not do something else is, so let me explain sort of my tumultuous feelings about relationships. In high school, everyone around me was in relationships, and I was like, oh, I really want to be in a relationship. But it wasn't too big of a deal for me, Like, I knew that I wanted to be in a relationship because everyone around me was in one, and I was like, that's clearly not the best reason. But then I got to college, and particularly, like, in the last few years, like, I realized that I would like the intimacy of a relationship, just having, like, one person. Like, I have so many good friends that I could call on, and we can talk about whatever, whenever, and, it's great, but it's not quite the same. And, particularly at night, I realized, I'm a bit lonely. And so I don't enter into, like, these conversations with the, like, guys on the dating apps, like, expecting a relationship immediately. Like, I like to see where/how things go, like, how they'll play out. They never really get very far, so I'm glad that I don't, like, push for a relationship. But, like, the relationship is always my end goal. But, like, I never want to force it. And so this is why, like, in my moments of boredom, I'm like, all right, let's go check out this Searching for Love game again. However, with, like, each weird and awkward conversation, that goal it seems like it's further and further out of reach. So I had a date last night, as I think I mentioned in the beginning of this video. This is like my third take, so I don't remember what I've mentioned here and what I haven't yet. And I'm going to end the video discussing that. But I also just wanted to talk about like my OkCupid experience thus far. So for the most part, as what was happening with Coffee Meets Bagel, like I would talk to so many people, and the conversation would like die because like one or both of us would ghost. Like I'd get distracted and forget to respond, or they just whatever was happening in their head, I would discover pretty shortly that they were weird. And that was part of the reason why I stopped using Coffee Meets Bagel, or dating apps, because I just got so tired of the process of like getting to know someone and then them, just like it's really tired getting to know like so many people within a week or over a couple of days, and just like the conversation dying, like you learn so much, so many facts and all that stuff like that, and it just got really tiring. But like I said, so I rejoined, and the conversations actually seem to be going better on here on OkCupid than CL&B. And again, not all of them, because some people have definitely texted me so the premise of OkCupid is you can view profiles and you can like someone, and if they like you back, you connect. If they didn't like you back, then they get a chance to see your profile, and it's sort of like a game of chance, but not quite. well, no, I guess it is a game of chance. And you can also message the person, which I think makes it easier to know that they liked you, because you'll have to pay money to see your likes officially. I don't know if that makes sense, so like I can put a link on how that works in the description as well. And so some people have messaged me like, I like your bodacious tatas, and I was like, oh, that's great. I'm just gonna go past this because I feel like that's the start to something that I'm not quite looking for. Or there have been other people who were like, there's this one guy who said, before I explore your body, let me fuck your mind first. And I was like, all right, I'm just gonna slide past that. And so there was one dude I was talking to. The conversation was going on. It was pretty lengthy, actually. And then he just, like, the conversation died, which really sucked. But the conversation in particular I want to share was with this dude whose profile was very entertaining. Like, he was just a fat dumpling evading arrest, and he, like, all of his other answers just were really jokey and, like, entertaining. And so the thing on OKCupid is you can comment on a part of someone's profile. They, like, encourage it so that you have, like, a place to start the conversation. And one of the sections they have is message me if, and he said, you're looking for something off the beaten path. And I thought that was hilarious. So I responded to him, and I said, hey, with the waving emoji, you definitely sound like a character, LOL, how's it going? For the record, any new viewers, like, I'm reading off of my Braille note, which is, like, off camera right now, but I'm going to make a tech video coming up soon. Anyway, so he responded to me about an hour later, and he was like, LOL, I fell asleep at 8:30. Caution, more profanity ahead. So I fell asleep at 8:30. I was coked out and on MDMA at a party until 6, then spent 2 hours trying to jerk off because Coke Dick woke up at 11. I'm a degenerate. I'm in a weird mood and figured I'd just be upfront about the kind of person I am, but I'm interesting as fuck, I swear. What? Like, those were all, like, just sent one message after the other, and I was talking to my friends at the time, and I just did not know what to do with that. I was like, okay, I'm not responding to this. Then a day later, he sent me another message, don't do drugs, kids. I'm so sorry about that. Ha 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 ha. What? I just needed to share that with a greater audience so someone else can appreciate the insanity that was that message. So there are other people that I was talking to. I have a date coming up this Saturday, actually, and I'm a little wary of it after last night's events. So I met up with this dude. So he has a child, which I was a little skeptical of, but I'm like, I have friends who are, raising kids or whatever, and he was very transparent about it on his profile. So that, that was, like, really promising. Like, seems like there would be nothing weird happening, you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, we'll see how this goes. And I know this sounds terrible, but I'm often of the mindset, like, I feel like this isn't really even going anywhere, and that's just kind of what I've seen from the past. And I try not to let that interfere with my mood, like, on the date or when I'm talking to the person, but just from past experience, these things usually have not led anywhere. Like, a second date is usually because I'm like, I really didn't like this person, but I'm just gonna give them a try anyway. So yesterday, we went out to eat. I met him part way, and then he drove the rest of the way, and that part was cool. Conversation was okay. I feel like sometimes he didn't really respond to what I said, but, for the most part, the conversation was good. There are a few points where I think belatedly, because he frustrated me at the end, all of these things are now annoying to me, but he was like, like, I'm okay with your vision, like, that's perfectly fine, I'm really open-minded, and he said that more than once. And so I made a ranting video last night, which you guys, I uploaded but then decided to delete. And I was just like, I was so annoyed because I was like, if you're okay with it, then you're not going to talk about it. But I'm like, okay, I understand the need to maybe, like, verbalize it, and that's fine. But you kept on talking about it, and it's like, are you trying to convince me or yourself? And so neither of us sounded like what the other expected. For him, it wasn't in a bad way, it was just kind of surprising. His voice actually reminded me of an old teacher, except with a Spanish accent instead of an Italian one. So that was weird. And he noted that when he started talking to me, he was like, you know, you sounded like a white girl. I definitely was like, wait, was she white? I feel like, you know, and I was very entertained by that because that happens to me a lot. I have fully blind friends who didn't know that I was black for years. And so then there was one point at dinner, though, he was like, you know, like, you sound white, but it's okay. You know, I'm getting used to your voice. And it's like, that's great. Of course it's fine. And if you weren't getting used to my voice, there was nothing I could do. Like, I'm not changing it. Like, that's wonderful. And again, I feel in the moment, I just kind of like laughed it off. I didn't think anything of it. But once dinner was over, we got into his vehicle. For the record, I had my location. I was sharing it with one of my friends the entire time. Thank you, Apple. You're you're amazing. My words are not on tonight. They're on the off switch. Okay. So, my words are on the off switch, or I'm on the off switch with my words? All right. So, he proceeded to kiss me, and it was just really intense right off of the bat. Intense and not very good. I felt like my face was being mauled by a bear, and I wasn't quite sure how to extract myself from the situation. And, you know, he got a little handsy, which I feel like circumstantially is I'm okay with, but like it was so much all at once. There was no like easing into it, and I was just like, like this was not, no. So, you know, I eventually extricated myself and was driven home. And I have not spoken to him all day today, and I'm really okay with that. And I hope he doesn't message me, because I will be, you know, he was talking about how he's looking for a long-term relationship and yada yada yada, and how he likes transparency, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, that's great. Like, I'll try to be transparent. I'll talk about my issues with yesterday and like why I don't think this is gonna work. You know, obviously in a very nice, friendly, sophisticated manner, but I'm still gonna make my issues known, you know. And like I said, so I do have a date this coming Saturday, and I'm a little wary of it. The circumstances surrounding it are going to be completely different. It's like 1 p.m. It's gonna be at a Whole Foods, not like dinner at a restaurant, and we're just gonna like just chill and talk, and it's gonna be very casual. And I feel like not everyone knows that Whole Foods has a seating area, which is why, and they have like this great like buffet style thing. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So I'm actually really excited for the food, not necessarily the person. But he does seem like a cool cat. He like is a stagehand, or I don't know if that's what he's called, or you know, but he does things with sets and stuff. So this could be interesting. And then continuation on like my romantic life and stuff like that. There is a person that I kind of like, but I'm also sort of testing the field with these dating apps, because it's one of those situations where I feel like I haven't decided if I'm going to say anything or not, and it's like it could make a friendship awkward. And yeah, so you know, I know people are like, oh yeah, you know, take a chance, you never know what's gonna happen, but then I take a chance and it ends up being completely awkward. So you know, like who knows what'll happen, who knows what I'll do, how I'll respond. But I'll keep you guys updated, because why not? And yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. The next one I make will be like another conversation from Coffee Meets Bagel. I think I mentioned this again. My memory has been so bad, I really don't remember what I've talked about and what I haven't. But hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next video. Okay, bye. If anyone, this is midterms week for anyone, you know, good luck.